because I am encouraged, I will study today's meditations and your brain. First, I will record slowly. Okay, I will here. Oh, speed 0.75. Okay. Hello, this is Sissim English from BBC Learning English. I'm Neil. And I'm Sam. How do you relax, Sam? Whereas I love watching movies and I go swimming. One thing that a million of people around the world do is meditation to relax, and that's the subject of our program. We'll be looking at experiments by scientists in the US into the Buddhist practice of meditation. We'll find out how Tibet monks use meditations techniques to focus better and manage their own emotions. But what exactly is meditations? People just sitting cross-legged on the floor thinking of nothing? There's a bit more to it than that. After all, Buddhist meditation is an ancient practice, even science, according to some. Tibetan Buddhism, as embodied by the Dalai Lama, is what many people think of when you mention meditations, which brings me to my question, which is, what is the meaning of the Tibetan words for meditation? Is it A, to relax, B, to feel blissful, or C, to become familiar? I think it must be either A, to relax, or B, to feel blissful, because they sound like positive states of mind. But I'm not sure about calling meditations a science now. Isn't it more like a philosophy or a lifestyle? Now, according to Professor Richard Davidson of the Center for Healthy Mind, he spoke to Alexander Martins of BBC World Service program Witness History about his remarkable scientific experiment, which proved for the first time that meditation can actually change the brain. When I first met His Holiness the Dalai Lama, it was 1972. He challenged me. He said, I was understand that you've been using tools of modern neuroscience to study anxiety and depressions. Why can't you use those same tools to study kindness and to study compassion? Neuroscience is the scientific study of the working of the human brains and the nervous system. Professor Davidson measures negative mental states like depressions in contrast to positive attitudes such as compassion. That's the wish for everyone to be free from suffering. Right. In his test, Buddhist monks sent out loving thoughts to everyone equally, to friends, enemies, and strangers, as well as to themselves. Compassion thoughts such as may you be happy and peaceful, may you not suffer, and the results were astonishing. What did you show? There's a very high level of gamma oscillations. Now the brain waves showing increased connections between different parts of the brain. This is what you are experiencing as a fresh inside, a moment of certain understanding and clarity. For us, it might last less than a second. For this experience, Buddhist monks, the gamma waves lasting minutes. Furthermore, as Richard Davidson explains, brain change as a result of meditations can be long-lasting. There's no questions at this point in time, based upon the current science that has been conducted over the last 10 years, that meditation can change the brain in the enduring ways, and the circuit there's involves multiples, but they include circuits that are important for regulating attention and regulating emotions. So this was proof of neuroplasticity, our brain's ability to change in response to conscious effort. In other words, the meditating monks were intentionally reshaping their minds, and the possible brain circuits, different parts of the brains responsible for different functions, start talking to each other in new ways that created enduring meaning, long-lasting changes. The meditators gained insight into how their mind works. They were more focused and emotionally balanced and less likely to get upset. How cool is that? Pretty cool, but these Tibetan monks sounds like Buddhists. They spend thousands of hours sitting in meditations. I've got to go to work, nurse. What does Buddhist meditation to me? Wisdoms. In fact, the experiment shows that 30 minutes of meditation a day significantly increased the feeling of loving kindness in you. Meditator 2. Okay, maybe I'll give meditation a go afterwards, but not before I find out the answer to today's case. Please, yes, I ask you what your Tibet words for meditation meant, and I said either A, to relax, B, to feel restless, and I'm feeling pretty confident so getting it right this the time. Seven times. If the answer came to you in a flash of insight, then I'm afraid you need more practice because the correct answer is C, to become familiar. In this case, with more positive thoughts and emotions. You mean emotion like kindness and compassion. The thought wishing everyone to be free from their problems. What other vocabulary did we learn today, Neil? Well, it turns out meditation is actually a science, neuroscience in fact, which is a study of human brains and nervous system. Meditation experiment proves neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to restructure. By generating and sending out the compassionate wish, may all beings be happy. Buddhist meditators change their brain circuit. Different parts of the brain is responsible for different function, and this is enduring change, meaning it lasts and increases over a long period of time. I must say that you took it pretty well when you guess it's the wrong answer just then. Thanks, Nils. I don't like getting upset. So I'm trying out some breathing meditation, breathing in the positive, breathing out the negative. Join us again soon for another interesting discussion on 6-minute English from BBC Learning English. Bye for now. Bye. Okay, I finished first present. Next, I will speak standard. Okay, ready, set, go. 6-minute English from BBC Learning English. I'm Neil. And Sam, how do you relax, Sam? Well, I love watching movies and I go swimming. One thing that millions of people around the world do to meditate to relax and this is of our programs. We'll be looking at experiments by scientists in the US into the Buddhist practice of meditation. We'll find out how Tibet monks use meditation techniques to focus their manage their emotions. But what exactly is meditation? People just sitting cross-legged on the floor thinking of the nothing? There's a bit more to it than that. After all, Buddhist meditation is an ancient practice. Even science, according to some Buddhism, is embodied by the Dalai Lama. What many people think of when you mention meditation, which brings me to my question, which is, what is the meaning of the Tibet words for meditation? Is it A, to relax, B, to feel peaceful, or C, to become familiar? I think it must be either A to relax or to be to feel blissful because they sound like positive states of mind, but I'm not sure about calling meditation science now. Isn't it more like a philosophy or a lifestyle? But not according to Professor Richard Davidson of the Center of Heart and Minds. He spoke to Arjun Martins of BBC World Service programs within his history about a remarkable scientific experiment which proved first time the meditation can actually change the brain. When I first met his fellow Dharma Saju in 1972, he challenged me. He said, I was understanding that you've been using tools of modern neuroscience to study anxiety of depressions. Why can you use those same tools to study kindness and to study compassion? Neuroscience is the scientific study of the working of the human brains and the nervous system. Professor David measures negative mental states like depression in contrast to positive attitudes such as compassion. That's the wish for everyone to be free from suffering, right? In his test, Buddhist monks sends out loving thoughts to be everyone equal to friends, enemies, and strangers as well as to themselves. Compassionate thoughts such as may you be happy and peaceful, may you not suffer. And the result was astonishing. Did you show nails? Very high level of grammars, oscillations now the brainwaves showing increased connections between different parts of the brain. This is what we are right to experience as a flash of insight, a moment of sudden understanding and clarity. Was it might last less than a second. For this experience Buddhist monks, the Gamma gave us last minutes. From David's brain change as a result of meditations can be long lasting. There's no question at this point in time, based upon the current science that has been conducted over the last 10 years, that meditation can change the brain in enduring ways, and the circuit there are involved some multiples, but they include circuit important for regulation and regulate emotions. So this was a proof of neuroplasticity, our brain's ability to change in response to conscious effort. In other words, the meditating monks were intentionally reshaping their mind, and it's possible because the brain circuit, different part of the brain's responsible for different functions, start talking to each other in new way. They create the enduring meaning, long-lasting change. The matrix gained insight into how the emotions works. They were more focused and emotionally balanced. They're less likely to get obsessed. How cool is theirs? Very cool. But these Tibet monks sounds like Buddhists. They spend thousands of hours sitting in the meditation. I've got to go to works. There's what good is meditation to me? Williams. In fact, the experiments shows that the 30 minutes of meditations a day significantly increase the feeling of loving kindness in new meditation too. Okay, meaning I give meditation to go after hours, but not before I find out the answer to this question. Please ask the debate was for the meditation means that I said either A to relax, B or to blissful, and I'm feeling pretty confident of getting right. What it seems if your answer came to you as fresh of insiders and pride, you need more practice because the correct answer is to become familiar. Is the case of the positive thoughts and emotions. You may emotions like kindness and compassion. The thought wishing everyone to be free from the problems. There are other vocabulary that you learned today, where it turns out meditation is actually a science, neuroscience, in fact, which is the study of the human brains and nervous system. Meditation experiments proves the neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to restructure. By generating and sending out the compassionate wish we all be happy, Buddhist meditation changes the brain circuit. Different part of the brain is responsible for different functions, and this is enduring change, meaning it lasts and increases over a long period of time. Some must say Sam's you pretty well and guess the wrong answer just thanks Nils. I don't like getting obsessed. I'm trying out some breathing meditation, breathing in the positive breathing out the negatives. Join us soon for another interesting discussion of 6-minute English from BBC. Learning English by for now. Bye. Okay, everyone, see, I finish first best version, second is slow version, but this is not. Um, maybe I'm not a correct pronunciation, but I will keep studying like that. Maybe okay. Thank you watching this video. See you.